Welcome back to the Guards Gaming Channel. Today we're going to discuss the buffs and the nerfs for 8.12. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So here we go with the 1.2 update. As we all know, Atlas is coming out December 14th. And now we're not going to talk too much about Atlas today because I actually have a video planned once he goes live. Unfortunately, I missed the PTS server because the PTS server came live the weekend of Thanksgiving or the week of Thanksgiving where I had family over, so I was unable to get on. But don't worry, I got a video coming as soon as he launches, right? But moving on. First thing I wanted to point out is Hi-Rez is actually trying to take a stab at balancing matchmaking, especially for those new Smite players that are coming into the game. The way it is now, man, sometimes if you're even a level 1 to a level 20 type player, you could very easily find yourself queuing up and getting into an arena match with people that are way higher level than you, really tarnishing the first impression of the game, right? So what they're going to end up doing now is matchmaking has now changed for all levels below level 30, right? So what's going to end up happening is players level 1 through 4 will now be routed to a co-op type game where you're going to be with real players playing against AI players from levels 1 through level 4. Now, this is going to be pretty cool for the simple fact it's going to allow new players to get their feet wet and understand and help them to better learn the various different commands and tactics of playing a Smite God. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if when you're level 1, level 4 that you're going to be able to take advantage of any type of boost that you might have. Usually boosts do not work against AI type bots, but who knows? Maybe they'll allow this once this thing goes live, but I seriously doubt it, so keep that in mind. But level 1 and level 4 should go pretty quick, to tell you the truth. Now, from players level 5 to 29, what they're going to end up doing is you're going to have your own queue, right? So it's going to be more like a newbie type queue where you'll be only matched up to players that are level 29. So that's going to be pretty cool, man. That's going to allow new Smite players to actually grow and hone in their skills without having to go against, or getting demolished by really high end type teams, right? Especially those pre-made chain CC teams that totally dominate newer players coming into the game, really turning them off to Smite, and a lot of them making them quit instantly. So hopefully this will really help with newbie retention. Now, once the players reach level 30, up to, I guess, the max level is level 160, you will obviously be routed to a regular PvP queue. Now, keep in mind, from level 1 to 30, all goes out the window if you party up with anybody that's over level 30 or higher. So if you're in a pre-made group and anybody in your group is either level 30 or higher, you're going to end up getting pulled into a regular queued arena where the players that you're going to go against are going to be anywhere ranging from level 30 to 160. So keep that in mind, even if you're a level 1. So keep that in mind, right? Yeah, so that's going to be pretty cool. Moving on. Okay, so let's get into the items here. So, believe it or not, they are actually going to finally, when I say finally, they're actually going to buff Spear Desolation. So what's going to happen is for stage 2 of Spear of Desolation, which is Enchanted Spear, they're actually increasing the attack power by 20 attack power. So the level 2 of this item is getting a very, very nice boost, almost exactly a 50% boost of power at that level, which is going to be really nice for our mage builds. Additionally, once the Spear of Desolation gets fully built, it's going to have an increase of 10 attack power. So you're going to go from 110 attack power to 120 attack power, which is going to be very nice. So Obsidian Shard also got a similar type boost. So at level 2 of Obsidian Shard, which is spell focus, it's actually going to get a 10 attack power boost. And then Obsidian Shard is also going to receive a 10 attack power boost or magic item boost, I should say, once it's fully developed. I personally don't use Obsidian Shard too much in Arena, and I don't really know too many people that do. But hey, man, at least maybe with this little bit of boost, more people will start using it. I know personally, I probably will not. It's still not that enticing yet. Now, they would have been went up to 110, 120. I about have thought about it, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, so Book of the Dead also got a, I'd say, a nerf slash boost, right? Or a buff. It's level 2. Book of Souls got a 10 magic item or 10 magic power boost from 55 magic item power to 65 at its level 2. Unfortunately, once you get that full Book of the Dead, now what they ended up doing is decreasing the shield that you get from the amount of max mana that you have by 5%. Cause yeah, man, that 30% of your max mana, that was pretty OP, man. That was definitely pretty OP. And heck, even at 25% now, it's still pretty good. Eye of the Jungle, it doesn't even matter. It's not even worth talking about because nobody uses this item in Arena. Okay, Terra. So for Terra, what they ended up doing, her Crushing Earth, this ability now can only be either refired or shattered, but you can't do both at the same time. Now, I'm not a top tier Terra player. So I guess what they're saying is at one time you're able to do Crushing Earth, and then if your cooldown reduction was quick enough, you're able to shoot it again. And as you shot it, it actually exploded it, and then put out a new one. So in reading this, and like I said, I didn't get a chance to test this on the PTS server, but in reading this, what I'm interpreting is the fact that once your Crushing Earth's cooldown is up again, if you refire it, it's just going to make the one that's already out there disappear, and then you're going to have that one fired, or you're going to have to, shatter it first and then refire. But you can't do both, which I believe to refire it, you have to hit the same attack button again. So I guess there is no shatter. I mean, you either shatter it before the cooldown comes up, because if you hit it again, it's going to end up refiring it, making it disappear. So I don't know, man. We'll have to check that out once it comes out. So Bellona, her Scourge, right? They increased the damage, the physical item damage on this attack, which is going to be huge, because Scourge is a hunter's worst nightmare, because not only does it do really fast damage, it also disarms. So against hunters, this attack is just lethal, man. So what they end up doing is they increase the damage from 80, 115, 150, 185, and 220 to 90, so an increase of 10, 130, an increase of 15, 170, increase of 20, 210, an increase of what? 210, 15, 25, and then was it 220 and 30. So yeah, man, incrementally they just increased it late game from 220 to 250, which you got to think, man. This, 30 points of physical item damage doesn't sound like a lot, but 30 points that fast, because usually that attack, you build speed with this attack, is just going to be nasty, man. But I'm not, like I said, I'm gonna have to test this with my new Bellona build that I was actually working on. So this is going to be pretty cool. I think I'm going to wait until after this update comes out to actually come out with my Bellona to see how it comes out. But anyway, moving on. Ganesha's own is now you're now immune to knockups. So this is going to really help out against the huge increase of Gev players you see now, thanks to the Optimus Prime skin and the Tar, where he does that knockup with his charge. Ganesha is now going to be immune to those type of knockups. So that's going to be pretty cool. Vamana, his passive they added a little bit to his passive, right? Actually, not a little. They added a huge update to his passive. So Sleeping Giant. So now what they did is they added a new component to his passive, that 10% of Vamana's physical protection is now converted to attack speed. So for example, if you had 100 physical protections, you would get 10% attack speed. Man, this god is already OP as crap, and once he goes into giant form, you already heard it 1,000 times, that so getting a 10% boost to attack speed based on your protections is going to be huge for this god, man. This god is already OP as it is. Now he's going to be like super OP, especially going into his alt form. So that should be pretty interesting. Ratatoskr, you don't see many of these in Arena these days. I think he's due for a revamp. But, you know, who knows? Maybe these little buffs here might help to see more in the near future. So what they ended up doing is they ended up buffing his green Eggcorn to add 10 more attack power. His white Eggcorn got 10 more attack power. Now his red Eggcorn, or his crit Eggcorn, increased physical power from 35 to 45. So it got 10 more attack power. And they also increased the buff Ratatoskr gains from hitting a god with his dart from 10 physical lifesteal and 10% basic attack damage to 15% physical lifesteal and 15% basic attack damage. So 5% boost for lifesteal and basic attack damage, which is going to be pretty big actually. That's definitely going to help him to get a quicker kill. His orange or yellow Eggcorn, they increase his physical power by 5. So that's not too much. Whoopie-doo, right? Okay, so moving on. Mercury. This is actually pretty big for Mercury. Mercury is pretty slippery as it is, but now what they ended up doing is the Made You Look, you can now fire that through walls. So that's going to help him to do even more sneak attacks, but more importantly in Arena, that's actually going to help him to escape some really bad situations where he or she finds themselves on, you know, opposite sides of walls, especially behind where the minions are, right? The buff minions. So that's going to be pretty interesting for Mercury for sure. Okay, so moving on, Neith, right? So Neith, her broken weave, they increased the weave duration by 100%. So it went from 1 minute to a 2-minute time frame, which is pretty big, man. And then her unravel, they increased the damage from 70, 100, 130, 160, and 190 to 70. So the level 1 stayed the same. 110, 150, 190, and 230 at late game. Man, that is a huge boost late game. That's 40 points of damage, which is really big for this god. Okay, so Jinwei, her explosive bolts, they increased the damage per shot by 10%. So it went from 100% of Jinwei's attack power to 110 of her attack power. And this also includes the target's explosions. As you know, those bolts explode at the end and do a small AoE. So that does get calculated into that explosion aspect of that attack. And then they fixed an issue where her ability screen displayed the basic attack information when Exploding Bolt was active. Who cares? Persistent Gust, they decreased the mana of that. Who cares? Airstrike, decreased the mana of that. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so moving on. Here we go. Medusa. So Medusa's acid spray now applies a 50% healing reduction that lasts for 4 seconds. As we all know, her lacerate actually had this aspect before. But what makes this so special is her lacerate was that one charge where she attacks one individual, right? Whereas acid spray is a small cone effect that can be spit on multiple enemies depending on how close they are together. So now acid spray is actually be able to put this healing debuff on multiple players. So that's going to be pretty significant, man. That's going to be pretty awesome. Now her lacerate obviously no longer has this healing reduction, but now damages minions when Medusa travels through them. So they pretty much added or gave Medusa the same thing that they gave Nox with her charge, right? So now when you shoot, you can shoot through a line of minions and actually clear a line of minions by charging through them. So that's going to be pretty cool, man. That's definitely pretty cool. So yeah, man, that is all the we have for 8.12. Now, unless there's some kind of change, so I understand the 8.12 should be going into effect December 14th. So make sure that you look for that. And again, once Atlas comes out, I'll make sure to do a video on him once I get my my feet wet and actually see more or less what kind of combos we're looking at. I really wish I would have been able to get a hold of him on the PTS, but as y'all know, man, family comes first. So it is what it is. But we'll get to him. So now again, that's 8.12. And for all y'all that have not subscribed yet, man, hit that subscribe button. I've been looking at my statistics lately and saw that about 55% of the people watching our videos are not subscribed, but they keep coming back, so I really appreciate that. But hey, man, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. And don't forget, we are now live on Twitch and Facebook Gaming under Garza Gaming Channel. And if you're looking to purchase any gems or an Ultimate God Pack for Christmas, don't forget we're Smite affiliates and have affiliate subscription at any of our videos. Where if you're a PC player, and you're looking to purchase anything from the Smite store, if you use our link, we actually get a small commission at no additional charge to you, which goes a long way helping the channel. Really appreciate that. Again, thank you for tuning in this far. I'm Dark Garza, your OG on the GC. See you next time.